Today we'll learn a new topic, that is metals, non-metals and metalloids. Let us see the periodic table of elements first. Here you can see the periodic table. This is the periodic table of elements. So friends, science has come a long way since Aristotle's theory of air, water, fire and earth. Scientists have identified 92 natural elements and created about 28 others. Here, the elements alone or in combinations make up our bodies, our world, our sun, and in fact the entire universe. A great deal of information about any element can be gathered from its position on the periodic table. Understanding the organization and plan of the periodic table will help you to obtain basic information about each of the 118 known elements. The elements of the periodic table can be divided into three main categories, that is metals, non-metals and metalloids. The elements are also categorized into periods or horizontal rows. Elements in periods do not have similar properties. Elements in the periodic table are also grouped into families, which are the column. Elements in families have similar properties. Families in the periodic table share chemical properties because all elements in a family have the same number of valence electrons. This means that all elements in a family bond with other atoms in a similar way. This means that all elements in a family bond with other atoms in a similar way. Now let us see metals. Let us see properties of metals. Metals appear to the left of the dark zigzag line on the periodic table. Most metals are solid at room temperature. Metals have luster. This means they are shiny. Then metals are ductile. That means metals can be drawn into wire. Then metals are malleable. That means metals can be hammered into sheets. Then metals have a high melting point. They are also very dense. Then metals are good conductors of electricity and heat. Then a chemical property of metals is its reaction with water and oxygen. This results in corrosion and dust. Most metals have 3 or less valence electrons and therefore are likely to lose these electrons in chemical bonds. Let us summarize once again. First, metals are solids except mercury. Then metals are hard except sodium and potassium, etc. Then metals have metallic luster. Then metals have high melting points and boiling points. Then metals are malleable, that is, it can be made into thin sheets. Then metals are ductile, that means it can be made into thin wires. Then metals are good conductors of heat and electricity. And at last, metals are sonorous, that means it produces sound. Now we will see non-metals. Here, non-metals occur to the right of the dark zigzag on the periodic table. Although hydrogen is in family, it is also a non-metal. Many non-metals are gases at room temperature. Now we will see properties of non-metals. Non-metals do not have luster, they are dull. Then non-metals are brittle, so they break easily. This means non-metals are not ductile or malleable. Then non-metals have low density. They also have a low melting point. This is why they are poor conductor of heat and electricity. Then non-metals have 5 or more valence electrons and therefore usually gain electrons in chemical bonds. Let us summarize non-metals. Non-metals may be solids, liquids or gases. Non-metals which are solids are brittle, that is, diamond is the hardest. Non-metals do not have luster, some have a dull luster. Non-metals have low melting points. Non-metals are not malleable. Non-metals are non-ductile. Non-metals are bad conductors of heat and electricity except graphite. And at last, non-metals are not sonorous. That is, they do not produce sound. Then let us see the metalloids. Here, metalloids can be found clustered around the dark zigzag line that separates metals and non-metals. Here, we will see the properties of metalloids. Metalloids have properties of both metals and non-metals. Here, metalloids are solid that can be shiny or dull. They conduct electricity and heat better than non-metals but not as well as metals. Then metalloids are malleable and ductile. Now we will see the chemical properties of metals and non-metals. Here, metals react with oxygen to form metallic oxides. These oxides are basic oxides because they react with water to form bases. Example, magnesium burns in air to form magnesium oxide. Magnesium reacts with water to form magnesium hydroxide. And non-metals react with oxygen to form non-metallic oxides. These oxides are acidic oxides because they react with water to form acids. Example, sulfur burns in air to form sulfur dioxide. Sulfur dioxide reacts with water to form sulfurous acid. Now let us see reaction with water. Metals react with water to form metal hydroxide and hydrogen. Example, sodium reacts with water to form sodium hydroxide and hydrogen, while magnesium reacts with water to form magnesium hydroxide and hydrogen. Here, non-metals do not react with water. Now let us see reaction with acids. Here, metals react with acids to form metallic salts and hydrogen. For example, zinc reacts with dilute hydrochloric acid to form zinc chloride and hydrogen. Most nonmetals do not react with acids. Some nonmetals like sulfur reacts with concentrated nitric acid to form sulfur dioxide, nitrogen dioxide and water. Now let us see how the metals replace metals. A more reactive metal replaces a less reactive metal from its salt solution. For example, magnesium replaces copper from copper sulfate solution to form magnesium sulfate and copper. Then, zinc replaces copper from copper sulfate solution to form zinc sulfate and copper. Based on the reactivity of metals, they can be arranged in decreasing order of their activity. Here we can see the reactivity series of metals. The arranging of metals in the decreasing order of their reactivity is called as activity series of metals. Here we can see potassium, sodium, magnesium, aluminum, zinc, iron, lead, copper, silver and gold in the decreasing order of reactivity. Now let us see noble metals. Metals like gold, silver, platinum, etc. retain their luster because they do not react with air, water or acids. So they are called noble metals. Here gold dissolves in aqua regia. Aqua regia is a mixture of concentrated nitric acid and concentrated hydrochloric acid in the ratio 1:3. Pure is 24 karat gold. It is very soft and cannot be used for making ornaments. So it is mixed with some silver or copper to make it hard. Now let us see uses of non-metals. First one is sulfur. Here sulfur is used for making sulfuric acid, salts of metals, etc. And oxygen is used for respiration by living things or burning of fuels, etc. Nitrogen is used for making ammonia, which is used for making fertilizers. Hydrogen is used for making ammonia, which is used for making fertilizers as fuel in rockets, for welding, etc. Then chlorine is used to kill germs in water, and iodine is used as tincture iodine, which is an antiseptic. Now, what are alloys? An alloy is a homogeneous mixture of a metal with other metals or non-metals. For example, let us see steel alloy. Its constituents are iron and carbon. And what are the uses? Construction of tools, machines, tanks, vehicles, ships, rails, building, bridges and dams, etc. Then other alloy is stainless steel. Its constituents are iron and chromium. Uses are utensils, cutlery, surgical instruments, etc. Then third alloy is brass. Its constituents are copper and zinc. Its uses are utensils, handicraft musical instruments, etc. Then other alloy is bronze. Constituents are copper and tin. Its uses are statues, medals, bells, ornaments, etc. Then alnico. Its constituents are iron, aluminium, nickel and cobalt, and it is used in making of magnets. Then duralium is an alloy. Its constituents are aluminium, copper, magnesium and manganese, and it is used in making utensils, pressure cookers, parts of vehicles and aircrafts, etc. Now let us see what is corrosion. The surface of some metals gets corroded to moist air for a long time. This is called corrosion. Prevention of corrosion of metals. The corrosion of metals can be prevented by applying oil or grease or applying paint. And third one is galvanization, that is coating of metals with non-corrosive metals like zinc. Then electroplating, that is coating of metals with non-corrosive metals like chromium, tin by passing electricity. And last is alloying, that is when iron is alloyed with chromium and nickel, it forms stainless steel which is resistant to corrosion.